Good morning everyone. Today I am Anya of class 5 is here to represent skeleton system in front of you. So let's start now. So now we have skeletal system. The framework of bones that give shape, support and strength to the body is called skeletal system. An adult human skeleton has 206 bones of different shapes and size. From outside, bones are hard and tough, but inside they are soft and spongy. The inside of bones contains a jelly-like material known as bone marrow. The main parts of human skeleton are skull, backbone, ribcage and two parts of limbs. Inside bones are hard and tough, but inside they are soft and spongy. The inside of bones contains a jelly-like material known as bone marrow. The main parts of human skeleton are skull, backbone, ribcage and two parts of limbs.
Go.
Now, do you know what is skeletal system? It is the structure of the bones that give shape, support and strength to the body is known as skeletal system. An adult human skeleton has 206 of different shapes and sizes. Now we are reading about the skull. The skull of an adult human being has 22 bones. It contains holes for eyes, ears, nose and mouth. The upper portion of the skull is made of 8 flat bones which protect our brain. The face and jaw contain 14 bones. All bones in the skull are fixed except the bones in the lower jaw that can move. It enables us to eat and speak. The skull is the hard and rigid structure of the bone which protects our brain. The upper portion of the skull is made of 8 flat bones and the lower jaw is contain 14 bones. All the bones in the skull are fixed. That means the skull can't move. Except the bones in the lower jaw that can move, it enables us to eat and speak. The skull is attached to the backbone which forms the main axis of skeleton. Our backbone is made up of 33 small bones called vertebrae. The vertebrae join together to form a strong column called the spine or vertebral column. It is flexible and protects the delicate spinal cord. The joints of vertebrae allow slight movements. The skull that we read before is attached to the backbone which forms the main axis of skeleton. What is vertebrae? Our backbone is made up of 33 small bones called vertebrae which join together to form a strong column called the spine or vertebra, tibia and fibula. As you can see in the diagram that this is humerus. What is humerus now? It is the long bone called the humerus of the upper arm. Now this ulna and radius are the two small bones of the lower arm. These 3 bones are attached to the shoulder girdle. Now this femur or thigh bone is the largest bone in our body. It is the bone of the upper leg. Now the lower leg contains 2 bones known as tibia and fibula. It gives shape and support of the skeletal system. It gives shape and support to the body. Means it gives shape and support to the body. Second, it protects the delicate internal organs like brain, spinal cord, heart and lungs. It helps to move our body with the help of muscle. Bone marrow helps in formation of red blood cells. Thanks for watching. Delicate spinal cord. The joints of vertebrae allow slight movements. The skull that we did before is attached to the backbone, which forms the main axis of skeleton. What is vertebrae? Our backbone is made up of 33 small bones called vertebrae, which join together to form a strong column called the spine or vertebral column, flexible and protects the delicate spinal cord. Ribs are thin, flat and curved bones. They make a cage around our chest. This cage of bones is known as rib cage. It protects our heart and lungs. There are 12 pairs of ribs in the rib cage. A long bone at the center of chest called sternum holds the ribs at front. The last two pairs of ribs are free and join only to the backbone, not to the sternum. They are called floating ribs. Ribs are thin, flat and curved bones. They make a cage around the chest that you can see in the diagram. This cage of bones is known as rib cage. It protects our hearts and lungs. There are 12 pairs of ribs in the rib cage. It means there are 24 ribs in a rib cage. A long bone at the center of chest called sternum holds the ribs at front. The last two pairs of ribs are free and joined only to the back, not to the sternum. They are called floating ribs. Skeleton has two pairs of limbs, forelimbs or arm and hind limbs or legs. The upper limbs arms are attached to the shoulder girdle or pectoral girdle. The upper arm has one long bone called the humerus, while the lower arm has two small bones called radius and ulna. The bones of hind limb are attached to the hip girdle. The upper bone of leg is called femur or thigh bone. It is the largest bone in a body. The lower bones of leg are tibia and fibula.
Good evening, all of you. Cheshta Geras here. Today, I'm going to tell you muscles and their types. So let's get started. A muscle is a group of muscle tissues which contract together to produce a force. Muscles consist of fiber of muscle cells surrounded by protective tissues bundled together, many more fibers, all surrounded in a thick protective tissue. Our muscles uses ATP to contract and shorten producing a force on the objects it is connected to. There are several types of muscles which act on various part of the body. Skeletal muscles is one of three major muscle types, the other being cardiac muscles and smooth muscles. It is a form of striated muscle tissues which is under the voluntary control of the somatic nervous system. Most skeletal muscles are attached to bones by bundles of collagen fibers known as tendons. Muscle tissues vary with function and location in the body. In mammals, the three types of skeleton are striated muscles, smooth or non-striated muscles, and cardiac muscles, which is sometimes known as semi-striated. Smooth and cardiac muscles contract involuntarily without conscious intervention. By applying this classification, three muscle types can be described: skeletal, cardiac, and smooth. Skeletal muscles is voluntary and striated. Cardiac muscles is involuntary and straighted and smooth muscles is involuntary and non-straight. Thank you and have a nice day.
Good morning everyone. Today I am going to tell you about sense organs. First topic is eyes. Human eye consists of many small parts, of all which are important to sight. The retina is most important part of eye because it is responsible for visual function. Stimuli are combined here into a vision and forwarded to the brain. Next, nose. Nose, the prominent structure between eyes that serves as entrance to the respiratory tract and contains the olfactory organ. It provides air for respiration, services, sense of smell, conditions the air of filtering, warming and moistening it, and cleans itself of foreign debris extracted from inheritance. Ears, human ear organ of hearing and equilibrium that detects and analyzes sound by transduction or the conversion of sound waves into electrochemical impulses and maintains sense of balance equilibrium. Next, tongue. Tongue is muscular organ in mouth. The tongue is covered with moist pink tissue called mucosa. Tiny buds called papillic give the tongue the rough texture. Thousands of taste buds cover surface of the papillic. Skin. Skin is the biggest, with a surface of 2 meter 2 and around 1/6 of the total body weight for an adult person. The skin made of 1/4 minimum deep elastic tissue with the main objective of protecting body against dehydration and daily external impact for optimium protection, the skin must stay healthy. Thank you.